Okay, I'm going to try to make this fairly quick because I was trying to put together this making of video, and at least 2 of my videos that I took while I was working on it can't be read by my computer. So anyway, the most important one though was at the beginning explaining why I picked the thing that I picked. And I picked the thing that I picked because I was looking out the window. It's when that first day when I was talking about us getting the rules. And I was looking out the window and it looked horrible. It was rainy and dreary and gray, and I kept thinking of that song, you know, all the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. It's California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas. I'm thinking the original one. I know it's been redone. But I got sand and sea as my 2 colors, and so the first thing that popped into my head was the sandy beach and the surf and just, you know, this vision people have of California, even though that's totally not what it looks like right here. I mean, we got no palm trees, no nothing. So that's what I really wanted to see, and that was the first thing that popped into my brain. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go with it. I could have gone big, and I thought about that too, because I knew that people were going to go large because we have a lot of fiber, and you know, people see large and they go, wow. But I didn't want to just go big. I wanted something that made sense to me and that I could really get all the way into. It's like I picked, you know, California Dreaming, right? And you think, okay, well, surfboards and all that. But I really wanted to go all the way into that. So I went all the way into like the cerebral of dreaming too. So I wanted to incorporate a brain in there, but it's a brain coral because it's underwater. So haha, so I was tying the two things together. And the twisting and just surreal world of the dream. So that's why the curls aren't very like controlled and barrel shaped and all that. I wanted it to, you know, moving and shape shifting and, you know, being really cool. So anyways, that was why I did that. I gotta cut this short or it's not gonna let me put it on. So yeah.
Hello, I'm back. I went to go draw the picture, and then I started looking pictures of baby goats on the internet, and I got distracted, and then I took a shower. So, but anyways, okay, so I did draw the picture though. Here, there's something. This is, oh, can you see? Hold on. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not showing you the back because the back is a super surprise and it's gonna be pretty funny. But so I did a tiny surfboard, a little man, and a little palm tree, and this is a wave, whoosh, and that's the sand dunes. Yeah. So like, you know, surfing. It's California dream. So I just removed the coin top. You can see this. This is the only piece of scalp. See the plastic in there? And once you take that off, see, everything generates that center point. See, it's a circle and the wefts radiate outwards from here. And this is why I needed to take it off and take this apart, because my design is going to be parted from whoosh, 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 whoosh. And I don't want to have to fight the wefts going the wrong way. So, okay, so I've taken off most of what I need to take off so far. Primarily, I know I need to get this section gone because this is where the big wave is going to be, and this is going to be all blue, and there's no point in trying to fight mixing the blonde and the blue together in this area. I will mix it together in other areas, so I'll have wefts in between the wefts, but for now I know this is my big wave Dave. I've got it coming off the little edge of the back, but you see now, because I did this, I don't have any support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the elastic from the inside of the wig, because I wasn't kidding when I said I'm going to reuse all of the pieces from the wig. This is the sizing straps. See, look, starts off like that, and I took the clippy part off. So I'm going to use the sizing straps to actually make the bridges in between, because otherwise if you took this off the foam head right now, you'd have a big gaping hole in the top, and it would just spread and go foom down on your neck, and then you'd look like you have a really cool ceremonial bib. I don't know. See here, I went ahead and put the elastic across so we give ourselves a little bit of strength. I am leaving this open because this piece will have its own mesh, and I don't want to put too much structure here because then we're losing all the stretch from the top of the wig. Okay, so now I'm going to start testing the fit for the brain case on the back here. It looks like I'm going to lose quite a bit more, but that's good because I have another place I can put it. What I'm actually going to do up here is shift this forward about an inch so that it can be used for the masking pieces covering the dome. And all this stuff from the back I'm going to harvest and use for what's under the dough. Okay, so now I have that piece moved forward and I got my elastic on here to hold some stuff in place. I'm gonna have to build some more superstructure here to hold the sphere on, but otherwise the front edges, the ear flap, and the back will probably remain intact. So, just. Alright, so I'm starting to part and group out the fiber because I need to determine what is going to come off in a chunk, what is going to need to have the blue wefts incorporated into it, and what's just staying as is. I know for sure that I need to keep this intact. I'm going to add one blue weft underneath just for a hint of the color, but this side is the sand dunes, so I don't want to mess it up too much. I don't want to have too much blue in it. And then this side, most of this is going to go. I got to keep the under edge here so I have some structure to work on too, but a lot of these wefts are going to go and just be straight up replaced with the blue wefts. We'll see how many, but I've got a trick up my sleeve that it's not going to be all solid blue wefts. No, 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 no. See, when I heard the limitation of I can't dye it, I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I know other ways to give it a hint of color without dyeing it. So we're going to do that. Okay, so I'm starting to put in the underlayer colors, and I'm going to keep it really subtle, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm only putting in maybe 1 or 2 wefts, in this case only 1 here. We're going to go to 2 in the back. But the reason is, as any of you who have used a chemical toilet before know, yellow and blue make green. And the more blended this is, the more it's going to look like kind of a muddled green color, and I don't want that. I want very much to have blue and gold, and where they mix, I need it to be not a blend necessarily, because I'm not doing an ombre effect, but a twist of the two colors together. So we're not going to do a lot of wefts in between the wefts, because if we do, it'll blend more evenly, and I don't want that. I actually want more of this streaky look. Sorry about that. Okay, so check. This is what we're going to use as the base for the brain coral. You might recognize this in a bit. This is a loofah from the dollar store. But when you take it apart, it's stretchy net, which is great for using as wigs as an undermesh because it's big enough that you can latch hook into, but it also stretches enough so you're not, okay, rewind. Stretching is good. Stretching is good because if you use something like tulle, which is a little bit stretchy but not very much so, and you use that as your undermesh, you end up with a very stiff undermesh, especially once you start putting things into it, because it very subtly shrinks it down. So you do run the risk of your wig getting too small, which is not so good. So I use boring, which is harder to find in natural colors usually because it's really colorful, but that's fine under here. So stretchy loofah material, and it's only $1, and you get like a lot. So that's what we're gonna use. Okay, so I'm starting on the brain coral now, and what I'm doing is I'm using pipe cleaners, and I am wrapping the fiber that I cut off earlier. That's the feel. And I'm using a technique I use on dreadlocks to make wrap dreadlocks, so it's just basically circulating around. But instead of using the dread, I'm using the pipe cleaner in the middle. And the reason I'm using the pipe cleaner opposed to just wrapping the fiber, which I could do and it would look the same, is now I have the wire in there, so I can start to make the little bendy bits of the brain. This is the queen scalper. Look, it looks like a little mullet. Look at that. Business in the front, party in the back. I wanna rock and roll all night. I'm party every day. I need to eat dinner. I think. Oh, what I want to show you? I'm working on stuff. Okay, I've been making brain pieces for a while. I realized I did not specify why it is that I have blonde and color, but the reason I have that is because coral reefs are very colorful. So I'm using the blonde to make the blonde brain, but then I'm also going to incorporate color because I love color, as evidenced by the rainbow behind my head. Cheers. Hello and welcome to another yucky day in California. So, I didn't show much yesterday or the day before actually, because I spent basically 2 days wrapping all these brain pieces. And you see I've got mostly blonde, but with a little bit of color sprinkled throughout. So, it's gonna look pretty BA. Okay, so because I'm anal retentive, I'm actually going to build this like a real brain. Obviously, it's not going to be made of much material. But what I'm saying is I'm not going to just put this on and coil it like this, because that's not how brains work. Wait, if you look at a cross-section of a brain, if you go on the internet, and it's sliced down the middle, you'll see that the warbly bits, I don't have the technical term right now, actually come from the center and work their way out like this. So I'm going to start from the edge and start building them outwards, and they move towards the middle. But when I get towards the middle, they're not going to overlap, because like a real brain, this is going to have a right and left hemisphere. Oh, that's right, with a slice down the middle and everything. Yeah. All right, so we got half of the brain in place so far, and I know it looks crazy. Oh, let's rotate. There's no light. I know it looks crazy pants right now, but we're going to flatten it down later, so it won't be giant loopy loops sticking out. You see the little faces? The fishies go swim in and hide. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we got all the brain pieces sewed on with a little gap in the middle. This will be filled in, don't worry. So I made it noticeably more colorful on the right side than the left side, because the right hemisphere is the one associated with creativity. And this is the dreaming brain, remember? So yeah. We'll squish this down. It'll look more brainy later. Okay, I just finished putting in the fiber optics for the neurons, because, why not? Okay, I smooshed the brain. So you see, there's a little line. The other side, yeah. I'll try to get a picture like somewhere dark so you can actually see the neurons later. The video is not doing this light any justice. This is pretty cool. Oh, that's crazy pants. Okay, so now we have our porthole into the mind, including the little octopus on the coral. So it doesn't all get in the glow, but that's okay, because this is going to be masked by the curls in the back and the wave in the front. So yeah, there's the first part. That looks pretty cute. I mean, it looks like a little terrarium or something. Cutie. Okie dokie, now that I have the brain globe sewn into place, I've drilled some holes in it in order to sew it into place. I've divided everything up so I can start doing the victory rolls. I'm doing reverse victory rolls, mind you. I'm not having it curl away from the face, but towards the face, so that I don't have to deal with doing a fake lace front, because I don't have time for that. So, word. So I've run into an interesting little issue here. Now, I have used an Iron Wig in Classic before, and I had gotten a curly wig and I needed to straighten it. And since these are heat-resistant fiber, and they have a higher range that you can adjust the temperatures with, I was using my straightening iron to straighten it. I just needed to straighten it, but it's like undercurl, which is fine. It worked great. I was like, oh, that's good results. So I was like, okay, well, I know I'm going to be having to do a lot of big rolls here. And even though I'm going to be using foam core in the center because I want to get that mass, usually it's much easier to roll something on if you start with curly fiber to start with, because then the curvature follows the curve and you don't have to fight the straightness of it. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll use my curling iron and see if that works. But alas, no, we run into the same problem that always happens and all. This is set at 300 right now, and the little card says the safe range for this is up to 420, and for best results work within 200 to 300, or 250 to 300. I tried at 250, nothing happens. I've been slowly working my way up. And while I can get a slight little bit of undercurl there, this is the reason that sustained heat in wigs is important. Because it's nice and hot, sure. And when it gets hot, the pliability increases. Unfortunately, if it does not cool in that position, it won't keep that shape. So it can cool
like that, it can cool at the ends really quickly, curled. But if I work my way up, if this was human hair, I'd let go like this and we'd have a nice little curl. But alas, that is not what happens. Instead, all it does is heat up the fiber, make it pliable, and then it relaxes into the shape it was. So, we're going to try, I have not tried this with this particular fiber before, but we're going to try heat setting using a more traditional method and see what kind of results we get. So, we'll check back in a bit. So there you go. Dollar store rollers, blow dryer on low, and you got a curl. So, it's cool that it doesn't singe using the heat tools, and that was great for straightening on the the rig. We're putting a slight under curl in, but we'll have to do it. The only problem is now that this tells me is I'm gonna have to take a little bit more time, because I was going to curl using the curling iron. Like I said, I hadn't tested that before. Good thing I did, right? I was going to curl them using the curling iron, so I would have my ringlets to start with to start my wrapping, but it looks like I'm now going to have to put everything in rollers. So that'll add some time. But it's okay. It's all going to work out. It's going to be good, yeah. Alright, it is the next day, and I finally have all of these rollers in. It's kind of a funny story. So I'm putting in the rollers, and I realize, wow, man, I really don't have enough to do this whole thing. And a big part of that is because when I stopped doing wig commissions, I gave away all my materials to other people. So I was like, I'm so used to working on wigs and having everything like it at arm's reach. And instead of like, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have curlers, I don't have bobby pins, I don't have, just things that's like, duh, I should have these around. So, that's why I didn't get it done right away, because I was like, oh yeah, I'll start on this now, and then I totally blanked on the fact that I don't have this stuff anymore. So then I had to keep going out to the store and getting stuff and coming back, and then realizing, oh, I didn't have this, and going to the store and coming back. So yeah, I have all the rollers in now. I'm only doing rollers for the ones in the back, because those are going to wrap over the bigger foam core curls. And the stuff up in the front, a lot of this is still masking. Like this blue layer and this blue layer are going to be part of the large wave and the secondary wave. And then this piece will be the very last piece I do anything with, because this is the front masking bang. And I just got to keep this thing intact until I'm totally done, because this is the thing that's going to be the final visual block for every other seam that's in there, so you won't see any of the seams when we're done. And these biggins, this is the one that's going to be the big sand dune that comes over the top, and this is going to be the secondary sand dune. I'm not cutting these yet, because I'm still flip-flopping between two different methods. Now, I should not be flip-flopping between two different methods at this point, because this is literally my last day to work on it. I know everybody else gets until the 17th, but the girl that I'm going to take a photo of this on is showing up tomorrow, which is the 15th. So I can't work on it after that. In fact, I have to have it done before she gets here at noon. So, a little pressed for time, but that's how it happens sometimes. And yeah, so I'm going to be setting curls, and I was going to spend a good day, oh, sorry, let's look at what I've got over here. Good portion of my day. This is all the extra length that I cut off, so this is all going to go into starting to roll. And so I'm starting on my rolls now. And I sew together batting to make a tube shape, but I was like, you know what, I got these foam rollers at the dollar store because I was looking at different shapes, so this will save me some time, and then I could just paint the ends the right color so they'll match. So anyway, that's my morning so far, and that's my coffee. Very important. I just went to record something for you, but I realized I couldn't really hear anything because the heater was still on. So I have some curl setting. This one didn't set, so it's been put back in, but the rest of the pieces, turn this around, have been pulled up on this side now. So this will be the main sand dune, secondary sand dune. This will be the last of the subwater curls. This is the front the thing. I can't, you know, there's a word for it right now and I totally can't remember it. The little curl that comes in front of your ear. Forelock. Yes, that's going to be the forelock on that side. This piece, the sand dune piece, is going to be kept long like this because all the rest of these I've done as 2 pieces. I've built, you know, we got some over here we can look at. First, I've built the roll, which is, you know, nice and smooth and nice and glassy, which is great and dandy if you want it to look like perfect glass, but I don't. So that, and then I've got the rest of the fiber is curled so that it's easier to wrap on. And then I bring it over here and I sew the pre-wrapped tube in place, and then I use the surrounding fiber to mask it in. What is a little piece of styrofoam stick in there? You got dandruff, lady. You get some head and shoulders. Anyways, okay, so, but I'm letting all these curls set and letting the tube set before I finish this part. But in the meantime, while everything is cooling and doing its thing, I'm going to start building the wave. And I know I mentioned earlier, and now we're going to show why. I mentioned earlier about how we can change color without having to dye the wig or paint the wig. I know I technically could paint it and it wouldn't be breaking the rules because they didn't say paint, they said dye, but I feel like that's cheating, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to use this. Oh, the world's blue. Oh, it's not. Oh, it is. Oh, it's not. Oh, it is. So, da-da-da-da. This is clear PVC. And the reason I got the idea for this is that if you, I don't have a place to put this down. If you look at a wave, you know, like an actual ocean wave, if you don't live near the ocean, just look it up on Google. And you see people are surfing in a tube, you can look up through the tube and it's translucent because it's water. You know, it's not an opaque tube. So when I'm building this wave, I want it to be as much like a wave as possible, including having translucency, which is why I'm not using foam core. Instead, I'm going to be using the PVC. Now, this is tricky because it's difficult to get it to bond to it, and I want it to bond smoothly and still look like water and not be all, you know, wonky, sticking off it funny. So it's making me a little stressed because I'm really running out of time. And another thing I can do with that, because it is translucent, is I can layer the colors on top of each other so I can actually get some gradient effect in the wave instead of just being one solid thing. So I think that's going to give it a lot more depth, pun intended. And but we'll see how that goes, because like I said, this is going to be something that I could have done easier. I could have done it with foam core and a hair sheet and, you know, bing bang boom, it would have been done. But I really wanted it to look much more dynamic. So my surfer showed up today in the mail. Look at little surfers. These are, check out these guys. They make cool, basically like army men, but doing stuff. Okay, so I want to show you what I meant about the gradient effects. See, this is 4 pieces that are overlapped right now, and they're creating these different layers of darkness, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fiber and put one on each layer so that the stacks of layers, the sandwiches, are just a little bit darker or going to lighter as they go down. And I'm not going to put the fiber on so thick that it covers the entirety of it, just little bits at a time so you can see the texture of it, but you can still also see the color. And we're back again, because unfortunately, past this point, I didn't have anything else on video because I was so pressed for time that I just did not have time to be taping and working. My model was sitting there while I was trying to get this done. So, but you know, I can show you some pictures of what it looks like. There's pictures online. Go check out all of the different things that people did because they came with some really creative ideas. I love the one with the dragon on the head, and my favorite one's the one that looks like a hat, like an old style hat, because it's the execution on it is perfect. It's magnifique. So anyway, okay, so but here's some stuff, and I hope you enjoyed watching me work. I know I'm a little crazy, crazy actually, but hey, yeah, we all are. Okay, so enjoy, go do things, have fun, see your loved ones. Yeah, all right, we go around. Slow pan, slow pan, slow pan. Just like low pan. Everybody knows Big Trouble in Little China. Slow pan, that's right.